I am a cardiologist and I've been practicing medicine for 25 years. And I struggled with burnout when, even before publications were out, even naming it. So this is 15 years ago or so. And I had to find my own way out, like so many of us. And that led me to think about a legacy that I could leave for others. So I didn't just leave burnt fields in my wake, but maybe made things better. So I founded the Ending Clinician Burnout Global Community. We've been holding annual summits for the last 4 years. I am now working on an organizational team for a healthcare system of 38,000, where I'm on a small but mighty team where we're focused on operational reform and making things better for physicians, nurses, and APPs. And I've also carved out some of my own life back. So I now have Fridays to myself, where I spent the last 2 years researching and writing a book, and now I'm speaking about the themes in the book. And that's how the idea got started. And then it was really a kick in the pants that I needed a little over 2 years ago. Somebody had approached me asking if I could be interviewed for their book. And I said, sure, no problem. It was a doctor talking about wellness. And then at the end of the call, I said, I'll be calling on you someday if I ever get to my book. And she said, I've been using a program out of Georgetown, and the cohort starts tomorrow, so you've got to act fast, the next cohort. So I looked them over and I looked at my options and I said, now or never. So I dove right in. Yeah, absolutely. In my journal, even 10 years ago, I have chapter one. It's called Book for the Kids, something like that, because I have
Yeah.
three children. They were young at the time, and I also had been exposed to early loss of my sister and grief. And the idea that I wasn't going to be around forever started sinking
Mm.
in my, I would say, early 40s, which, yeah, a little bit earlier than average. And so that was my initial drive. I wanted to leave something for my children, partly because my father, who, thank God, he's 98 and alive, and he never wrote that book that I wanted. And he's a very quiet man. So us seven children were always left guessing, what was Dad's story in Korean
Mm.
War and these kinds of things. He's doing a little more writing now, and I wanted to do it a little bit differently for my children. So it began as a legacy piece for my children, and then how can I help my patients? And how can I summarize everything I've learned in my own journey? And how can I learn more about the mind-heart connection? Because I'm constantly intrigued by that, emotions and thoughts and logic and feelings, and how does it all fit together? And I realized I had a pretty unique perspective as a cardiologist who studied mindfulness and compassion. So that's how it got started long before I officially signed the contract with my publisher. It's neither self-publishing or a traditional editor. And I learned from this program that I signed up for, it's what's called hybrid publishing.
Okay.
So hybrid publishing is there is a publishing house, but they don't do the work for you at all. So they don't promote the book, they don't help write anything, make the connections. They shepherd you and guide you through the process. And it's a very hands-on process. The group is called Manuscripts LLC. It's out of Georgetown, and it's a cool story. The professor of the year in the business school there, I think 2019 or so, had this concept that 95% of people who think about writing a book
Mhm.
never do it.
Mhm.
Among those 5% that do, the majority of people's books don't really get out into the world. And if they would only follow a few best practices, which are knowable and studyable and learnable by looking at others, if they would only follow those, the book would have more of an impact or desired impact. It's for me to enjoy the process. If it never got to one person, I had fun. I learned a lot. It turns out it's getting to a lot of people. And the process, it's about a year-long process where every single week, it's a combination of coaching for half an hour to an hour with editors of 5 different types of editors, positioning editors, developmental editors, revisions editors, etc. Then once the book is done, and I took 2 years instead of one because the research, I didn't realize that research was going to take any time. I thought I knew it all. What I learned from this program was that the best books these days, at least in the nonfiction world, are not written by people who think they know it all. It's written by people who are humble, who are willing to instead find out what the conversation is all about. All of this stuff about the business of publishing. And it's been super fun.